Well, hello and welcome to my latest video. Not done a video for a while, back in the garage, so it's a cycling themed video. Now, a couple of weeks ago I did a long ride with a friend of mine. Turned out to be just under 130 miles, a bit longer than I planned. And there were a few things that didn't, well, not that they didn't go right, but because it was a long ride, there were a few things that I wish I'd done to the bike and kind of to myself that would have made the ride more enjoyable. So I thought what I should do is make a video showing you some of the lessons that I learned on that ride that I intend to put into effect on an Audax that I'm doing on the 6th of May. Yes, now this Audax is called Escaping the Coronation of the King. All right, now if you want to Google how to escape the coronation of the king, you may find that this particular Audax comes up. Well, I must warn you, so far 42 million people I think have registered to ride this Audax, so you may find you have some difficulty getting a place. But anyway, good luck on that. So I thought I'd show you what I'm doing to my bike, what I'm doing to my kit, what I'm doing to myself, well, not really doing to myself, but you know what I mean, what I'm doing to make sure that this Escaping the Coronation of the King 200k Audax is more enjoyable. Although, I mean, my ride was enjoyable, but how this ride is going to be even more enjoyable, and not just because I'm escaping the coronation of the king, but generally how it's going to be more fun because of the various changes that I've implemented on the bike setup. So come with me, because we're going to try and find the bike. I'm not quite sure where I left it, all the various bits, but we're going to gather them together, put them together into an exciting video that you'll not only be able to watch now, but you'll also be able to watch if you don't get a place on that Audax called Escaping the Coronation of the King, and you want to watch YouTube while you're watching whoever it is having that thing put on his head. So come with me and let's see what we can see, as they say in Balamoy. Well, come on then. There's no point hanging around here, is it? It's not going to happen here. You know, the coronation of the king ain't happening in my garage. It's happening over there. Over there. So, come on. Let's go. Okay, this is the Mason Definition wonderful bike, which I may use for the Audax. On the other hand, I may use my Orbea Terra. I haven't quite decided yet. I'll show you a little bit of video of that. Don't go away. This is the Orbea Terra here. It's hanging up on the wall, actually, so obviously that's not how I would ride it. I would aim to have the wheels on the ground, but currently it's up there on the wall. A bit of a busy background there, I'm afraid, but that's not actually germane to this particular video. It's not really about the bike, it's about what I carry on the bike. So let's go back to the Mason Definition. You know how you do a kind of sweeping thing like that? Did you see what I did there? Really moved quickly. I thought that was quite clever, wasn't it? So here's the Mason Definition, but as I said, it's not about the bike, as Lance Armstrong would say. It's about the kit and the equipment on the bike. So let's just hone in, let's focus in on some of the things. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is, you can see here, well, you may be able to see here, I've got two bottle cages. Now, normally I would have a Vittoria tool bottle, which has got my tools and inner tube and stuff, in one of those cages, and I would have a bottle in the other cage. Now, I have recently been suffering quite a lot with cramp. And one of the causes, I think, is that I don't drink enough on the bike. So what I intend to do is to carry two bottles, yes, carry two bottles into the shower and onto the bike, and that's going to increase the flow of fluid into my body. So two bottle cages, two bottles. Step one. Step two is to use a handlebar bag. Now, this handlebar bag is currently sitting on the saddle, but that's not because it's a saddle bag. It's still a handlebar bag. It just happens not to be attached to the handlebars at the moment. And you will see that this is by Rafa, of course. And you also see it's a kind of mustard yellow, kind of orange colour. Now, I did write to the boss of the Audax Style Council, who, funny enough, is a man called Paul Weller, would you believe? And I wrote to him and I said, "Dear Mr. Weller," and I said, "Look, I've got this kind of mustardy shit yellow colour Rafa handlebar bag. Is that okay for an Audax?" And he said, "Well, not really. Have you got anything else?" And I said, "No, I haven't. And it is an Audax for the escaping the coronation of the king." And he said, "Well, okay, you can do it." So I'd like to say a big thank you to Mr. Paul Weller of the Audax Style Council, if he happens to be watching this, because I'm going to use this Rafa handlebar bag. So what am I going to put in it? Good question. Okay, what I'm going to put in it, and I may struggle to see how I'm going to film this, but let's see, because it's probably all going to top over. That was a lock, by the way, so it's all unbalanced now. This is a spare light. Now, a spare rear light. One of the things that I found on my long ride was that the battery ran out of puff on my long ride, so I'm going to take a spare light, so I'm going to put that in the handlebar bag. I'm also going to get, sorry, I accidentally switched off the camera there. I'm just going to get some snacks, so bear with while I get some snacks. Okay, so here's some High Five Hydro tablets. I may not take a whole tube, but let's put that in. I've got a flapjack here. This is an organic Bakewell slice flapjack. I may not take that particular one, but I'll take some flapjacks. And then I've got, what have I got here? I've got a gel. This is SIS Science in Sport blackcurrant gel. I think they're rather tasty actually, so I'm going to put that in the bag as well. Here's a second gel in case I run out of puff. I'm going to put that in as well. Bear with, just going to get some more stuff. Now, not only did my rear light run out of battery, but my Wahoo bolt also ran out of battery, which means the whole of my ride did not record, and I wasn't very happy about that. It had been on for about 12 hours, but even so. So here is a little charger, so I'll put that in. So if I stop somewhere, I can charge things up. Here I've got combination of cables, which will fit the iPhone, fit the bolt, will also fit some of the lights. So if I need to charge them up along the way, so I'll stuff all that into the handlebar bag. So let's leave the handlebar bag. So normally that would be attached to the handlebars, just around here. That's the handlebars there, but it's not attached at the moment. So let's put that to one side. Bear with, don't go away. So this is basically my secret ingredient here, and this is what you would call, I suppose, a saddlebag. It's by a company called Cordell. I don't know if you can see that. Cordell. I actually bought it in Girona about 3 years ago when I went for a great week there with my daughter, and it's by the Service Course, if you know them. Anyway, I'd not used this. In fact, the only time I used this was yesterday when I went on a long ride to Firle Beacon, funnily enough. Anyway, that will attach to the seat post and the saddle rails there, as you can see. And I will put, I'm just kind of balancing this on the saddle, not because it's a saddle bag, you remember, or not the handlebar bag, which was also on the saddle. That wasn't a saddle bag, that was a handlebar bag. That's now gone on the handlebars. You saw that. That was the Rafa mustard yellow shit coloured one. This is the Cordell dark blue one. Just to remind you, Cordell by the Service Course, bought in Girona, had a wonderful week there with my daughter. Now, what will I put in that saddle bag? What you want to know? Well, the first thing is I will put in my tools that would otherwise be in my Victoria tool bottle. So let me just show you that. So here is my Victoria tool bottle, which has got a tube in it. It's got a multi-tool, it's got some tyre levers. What else has it got in it? Well, I think that's it, actually. So that I will put into the saddle bag, so I no longer need to use the bottle cage in order to store this tool bottle. Let's put that down. I will also put into the saddle bag a pair of full-length gloves, because I didn't have gloves with me, got rather cold, rather wet, not very pleasant. I'll also put a buff into the saddlebag. There'll also be enough room in there for a gilet. There'll also be, there might be some shoe covers as well, because this long ride I did, it got really wet. This is a bit boring actually, I'm just telling you about it, but you can't see me. So I turn around so that you can see me. Do you want to do that? Well, that's not actually seeing me, is it? I wonder where I've gone. Hang on a minute. Oh, this is just panning around my garage. Hang on, let me turn that off. Okay, you've got me back again. That's a bit more exciting, isn't it? So the point about the saddlebag is not only will it have some stuff in it, but it'll also have space in it. Space, very important, space, the new frontier. But there's space in it, so if I want to disrobe, okay, let's say I start off wearing the buff, warm up, get too hot, want to take the buff off, I want to put it into the saddlebag. So I'll do that. Let's say I'm wearing a gilet, it gets hot, I want to take the gilet off, I can put that in the saddlebag. Let's say I'm wearing leg warmers, it gets too hot, I want to take them off, I want to put them on the saddlebag. Let's say I'm wearing a jersey, it gets too hot, I want to take that off, I want to put that into the saddlebag. Then I do. Let's say it's getting really, really hot, I want to take off my shorts, you know. Not sure I want to do that, but let's say I take off my shorts, I'm going to put them into the saddlebag. So then I'm doing kind of naked bike ride. I don't know what Mr. Paul Weller of the Audax Style Council would say about that, me doing a 200k bike ride in the buff, except for my shoes, of course, and perhaps a pair of nice sunglasses, but perhaps some chamois cream, nothing else between me and the saddle. Remember when Marilyn Monroe was asked, what do you wear on the bike? And she said, just a little bit of Chanel No. 5. Well, that's me, only it's not Chanel No. 5. It's actually Muck Off chamois cream. Now, I thought, actually, would anybody buy chamois cream that's called Muck Off? I mean, would you? Anyway, I did, and I've tried it. It's rather pleasant, actually, but the muck comes off in your hands. But anyway, let's not talk about that. So let's go back to, hang on, here it is. So here's the saddlebag, Cordell saddlebag, bought in Girona, and that will be full of stuff that I would otherwise be loading down the bike with. So when I go and do my 200k Escaping the Coronation of the King bike ride, Audax, I'll be able to carry all the stuff that I need on the bike, and that's going to make things much more enjoyable. So if you want to replay this video, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 times, something like that, perhaps you're short of memory, and that will remind you of the kind of things that you ought to do, the kind of things that you want to carry, and the kind of setup that perhaps would suit you if you were also going to ride the Escaping of the Coronation of the King Audax along with the other 42 million other people. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.